Hello and welcome to this live Spanish workshop where today is all about helping you understand more in Spanish. It's all about your ears, all about understanding and listening, huh? This live workshop is 100% for you if you want to improve your Spanish listening skills. You would like to burst your expat bubble and ultimately integrate in Spain faster. And I'll show you how these three elements are super connected in your journey, in your process in Spain. And if you stay till the end of this live workshop, I've got a surprise. I've got a gift that's going to help you, with the main premise of this live workshop, huh? In case we've never met before, my name is Jaime, and I always like introducing myself by sharing my mission, which is inspiring people to take action so they can improve their lives and feel more valued and connected. And right now, professionally, I do that with my Spanish Spanish integration mentorship company called Habla Academy, which with our unique 4C method, we help successful adults with a growth mindset, be themselves in Spain with the Spanish fluency training, confidence coaching, and immersion challenges, right? But apart from that, I'm also an expat, a professional expat. I've been an expat since 2001. I've lived in 5 different countries, and currently I'm learning my 4th language. So what does that mean to you? That I can 100% relate to all the challenges that you might be going through right now, understanding, in your case would be Spanish, right? But the process of understanding a new language, right? And I get all your frustrations when you feel lost and confused when you're out there and things are going over your head because they're too fast, they're too new, you don't get it, and all the insecurities that being in that position stares. Huh? So what's the main problem that we as expats have when we are living in a new country, apart from all the integration process? No, just trying to create a community. But with regards to the language, is that we feel that the locals speak way too fast. No, that's probably one of your main problems here in Spain. Oh, they just, oh, it's impossible. They just speak too fast. The locals, I will never get this, huh? And another problem that you might be experiencing is that you are in the middle of English too much, or maybe it's your native language, maybe it's Dutch or German, whatever your native language. You, despite living in Spain, you still are surrounded by not Spanish. That could be because you are hanging out with other expats too much, or because perhaps the Spanish locals that you're hanging out speak to you in English because the thing is easier, right? So these are the main problems that I find expats complaining about, and the people that come to us at Habla Academy, huh? And ultimately, that leaves you confused and sad and not being able to communicate and express yourself. Huh? That's I'm focusing this live workshop on these 2 main problems: locals speaking too fast, and you being surrounded by English too much. No enough Spanish. All right. So what's the solution? But you need obviously you need a different approach here, and let's focus on 2 sides. You need a different mindset and an immersion plan to help you surround yourself with more Spanish, so you can understand better the locals, you can connect better with the locals, and you can build better relationship with the locals. This is what we're going to be looking at today, and I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 top tips to help you understand more and change your mindset so you can connect more and ultimately feel happier living in Spain. So only 5 tips to help you with this. Ready? Shall we do this? Let's go. Tip number 1. This is a little bit more on the mindset side, not on the coaching side. You need to accept your responsibility in the whole process. And I'd like you to start replacing your negative talk, whether it's towards you or towards others, for something a bit more positive. It's not a day problem. They don't speak any fast. That's okay. They're doing whatever they have to do. We need to understand that it's us that we understand slowly, which is a bit more empowering to recognize there is something that we can do, something that we can control. This gets us out of the victim mentality because if there's is their fault, what can we do? Poor us, boo hoo hoo. They speak too fast and we never understand, huh? So just like anything new, like anything new that you might have tried in the past, huh? Anything new is fast, difficult, and confusing. And I can only assume that you are a grown-up, a successful grown-up who's already gone through different challenges in your life. And I mean, I only know one challenge. If I don't know anything about you, I know that you've overcome one challenge of relocating to a new country, and I know that you're more than capable to embrace change, huh? And that you know what it's like to do things for the first time, huh? So with this change of mindset, you have the power to change the situations. It's all about you, no? It's not about them. And like I said, I'm 100% that you've done similar things in the past, so you eventually get there, no? So it's tip number 1. Tip number 2, let's make it a bit more practical now, huh? You need to train your ear to more Spanish sounds, and you being out there with your friends socializing is, I wouldn't say that is training. You need controlled training where you dedicate time to strengthen your listening muscles, huh? Because it's literally like that. Maybe the analogy is a bit abstract, but your listening is a muscle, and the more you listen, the better it gets, right? So we need to be very intentional with this, huh? So you need to ask yourself, where can you listen to more Spanish during your week? Don't just leave it down to chance. If somebody says something, or at the office, on the street, no, you need to schedule listening practice, huh? So it's a good idea that you always look at your calendar and plan ahead. I'm going to do it before this, after this. And you don't necessarily have to carve time for doing this. All you need to do is just replace an activity that you are already doing. You already listen to music, you already listen to the news, or you're already sort of watching entertainment. No, so it's just deciding that at this moment of the day, I'm not watching or listening entertainment in my native language. I'm doing it in Spanish. But you need to be intentional. You need to decide this beforehand and not just leaving it until whenever you feel like, huh? Movies in Spanish is not entertainment anymore. You don't do it on a Friday night when you're chilling with a glass of wine. Because it's a stressing. You are trying to pick up words, you're trying to follow the plot. So this is a studying time, huh? This is training time. So what I'm trying to say is don't book for watching a full movie. Maybe just watch 20 minutes here. You can choose a movie, watch only 10-20 minutes in different episodes, no? And then you cover the whole movie. If you're at that level, although I would recommend starting with a lower level, huh? What I was trying to say here before is that you really need to develop this muscle of listening, because the brain is a pattern recognition machine. So you just need to feed it. You need to feed it sounds. So when when in English, right? Somebody's gonna say that, and you can almost finish the sentence because you've heard it many times before, and you can just sort of assume and complete the sentence. But you need to allow your brain, your Spanish brain, to grow the same skill, huh? And the only way that you can do that is by listening more, huh? And the only way that you can get good at this is by being consistent and make it part of your weekly routine. Now, I'd like to share with you my routine, the way I'm doing this. I'm an expat. I'm learning my 4th language, and I need to be very intentional about listening more to my new language. So when I'm running, right, I like listening to music, I like listening to podcasts, and I like listening to podcasts in Romanian, which is the language I'm learning, right? It doesn't matter if I enjoy it, doesn't matter if I feel like it, I just get that in rotation, right? I decide, maybe at the beginning of the run, I'm listening to Romanian, and then I change to music or something else. I watch the news. When I eat, I watch the news. That's me. That is something that I've already decided beforehand. Eating is watching the news. And with this we were saying before, watching movies, full-length movies, 10-20 minutes. I've found this amazing kids movie based on a cartoon that it cracks me up because I'm watching it, I'm taking notes, and I understand a little bit, and I'm watching it 10, 20 minutes at the time. I'm not watching the whole thing because it's too much for my level, huh? So tip number 2, which leads me to tip number 3, celebrate the 1%. Please focus on what you do understand. Don't focus, because it's all about attention, huh? Both are true. You understand 1% and you don't understand 99%. Let's say if you're a complete beginner, maybe a little bit more of a percentage if you're being in Spain a little bit longer, no? But both are true. But it really depends on where you put the attention on. No? So please, I invite you to put the attention on the words, on the expressions that you do understand, and see it as a win. See it as a win. And then enjoy it, even if it's the word hola. Let's say you're a complete beginner, hola, and then you're listening to a podcast, blah 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 blah, hola, blah 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 blah. You're like, yes, I got that word. It brings me so much joy when I hear those 2 words that I'm learning in the podcast, right? I kind of, it's just a little spark of joy just because I got that word that I learned that week. Huh? Then when you pick up that word, right, make sure that you activate it right away with your neighbors. Try to use it. Don't just leave it there here in your in the listening sort of space. Bring it into the real world. Activate it. Say it. Hear yourself saying it. And trying to provoke a conversation with it. And if you're already working with a mentor or a coach or a professional, bring it into the conversations in your sessions. So you, one more time, the word becomes real. It's not just something that you heard. It's something that you already have in your routine, no, in your script, in your new script. Tip number 4: burst the expat bubble. Because if you want to listen to more, if you want to understand more Spanish, you need more Spanish around you, no? We just established that. And the only way that we can do that is also in our social life, is not to be living so much surrounded by English or Dutch or German, whatever your native language is here in Spain. That's not helping you. I know what it's like when you arrive to a new country and you're insecure and you don't understand anything. So you feel, we find that comfort in the expat bubble at the beginning. But the problem comes when we've been a few months, if not years, and we still, we're not brave enough to break it, burst it, and mix a little bit more with the locals and speak the local language. Huh? At home is easy. Of course, at home, bursting the expat bubble at home is easy, and our clients get a plan where we help them sort of immerse more in Spanish. But you can see the opportunities in your own home for stop listening your own native language and bring in more Spanish. I'm sure you can figure it out. And then when it comes down to your social life, you need to start going to different places. Not all the time, but be intentional, right? Okay, this weekend. Okay, I know it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to go to that market, right? I'm going to go to that shop. I'm going to go to that one. Instead of choosing the one in English, you go to the one to the local one in Spanish, where you know that old lady doesn't speak any English, and you have to confront her. Huh? What about if you have local Spanish friends that they speak to you in English, because it's easier, right? You need to be strong, and you need to reply in Spanish if you can, and if you can't, well, because of your level, try to use the little Spanish that you have in Spanglish. What's happening there is that there's a bit of a conflict of interests. They want to practice their English, you want to practice your Spanish. If you give up to their requirements, to the needs, you lost. You're wasting your time. Right? You need to be strong. You need to see them as an opportunity in your journey, opportunity for growth. You're not manipulating or abusing anybody, right? I'm sure you can be very friendly and sort of you let them say hello maybe in English, and then you switch to Spanish very naturally without having to make a big deal out of it. Huh? But it's very important that if integrating, communicating, feeling confident in Spanish is important for you. Or every single person that comes into your life is an opportunity for you to get better and better and closer to the ideal lifestyle that you want here in Spain. Huh? And if you need support with this process, we have to help you. That's exactly what we do here as a Spanish integration mentorship company. That's all we are about here at Habla Academy. And finally, tip number 5, another sort of on the tip on the mindset side. You need to be a little bit patient with you. This is learning a language and integrating a new country is a massive challenge, is a massive goal here to have, right? So you cannot expect results fast. There are other things you could do that you might in a couple of months you're like, yeah, okay, this takes some time, and in my experience, I've been doing this for the past decade. You can only see incremental improvements every 3 months, and you can only compare yourself to yourself 3 months ago, right? And what types of, or how much you could understand at the time, how much you can understand now, what conversation you could have at the time, and the ones you can have now. I invite you to be vulnerable and share your situation, right, with everybody. I'm sorry, puedo repetir más despacio. You need to be patient. Please repeat again. And the Spanish local goes like, perdón, puede repetir más despacio, more slowly, right? Because you need to have empathy for the locals. Some of them are not used to dealing with foreigners. And as a professional who has learned how to slow down to be understood by my clients, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to make this position if I just spoke in my natural speed. Is one of the hardest things that for somebody to learn how to slow down, how to speak, so somebody understands you. And one more time, if this wasn't clear, this is all your responsibility. So it's you the one that need to be patient, and it's you the one that has this particular the one that is struggling with the understanding. It's not about them, they're fine. You just need to be empathizer and help them help you. So there you have it. Those are, in my opinion, the 5 more powerful tips that I can share with you today to help you understand more, and as a result of that, you should be able to break your expat bubble and integrate in Spain easier. And since you already made it until up to here, I would like to share with you a bonus. And a bonus, it's a list of immersion resources that I have created for my paying clients, with different elements that you can choose from for your listening. So I've got a list of different podcasts and YouTube channels and social media accounts, and they're divided in categories: news, culture, humor, I can't remember, or music, something like that, right? So you have a list like this with different names of podcasts. This is my favorite one, Nadie Sabe Nada. You have the link to Spotify and a brief description of what it is, right? And there are maybe like 50 resources there. If you're serious about improving your listening, just for making it up to here, simply send me an email at jaime@hablaacademy.com or through hablaacademy.com on the contact section, and I'll be happy to tell me, Jaime, I watched your listening live masterclass. I would like the resources, and I'll send it to you. Vale? What's next? So it's time for you to take action. Remember, that's my mission in life. I need to, if you don't take action, my mission in life is not complete. So I invite you to book a strategic listening time in your calendar. Decide when it's going to happen, and what would you be listening to before the moment, right? I invite you to stop hanging out with fewer expats and more Spanish, right? And realize how much you're still in a parallel world here in Spain. And I invite you to reply in Spanish to the locals that try to speak to you in English. And of course, I invite you to get in touch with us if you feel that you need personalized support to help you integrate in Spain faster, more efficiently, and have more fun. What you're doing, where you're at it, huh? And just to conclude, I'd like to leave you with this Bruce Lee quote: "Patient is not being passive. On the contrary, it's a concentrated strength." Right? So you being patient with yourself, with your process, on how slowly the process is of learning a language is you being strong in such a meaningful journey that you've set out on here, relocating to a new country in Spain. ¿vale? My name is Jaime Valencia from Avala Academy, and it's been a pleasure.